Thank you for coming back to my channel for your stimulus check and stimulus package update. Please subscribe to my channel. Please leave your thumbs up and please leave your comments. I want to talk about your child's education, what's happening right now. Y'all, please tell me in the comments what you think about this story about your kids' education. The Washington Post has issued an article that says parents think they have a right when it comes to their child's education. They don't. The education is teaching our kids porno, and they are calling it sex ed. Now, this is not the sex ed that we had when we was in school, when we learned about the reproductive system. This is pure porno, graphic porno. Y'all, they are using a book that is called The Lawn Boy. People are trying to get this book banned, but it was written by a black author, and that's perfectly fine with me. But now they're saying if you want this book banned, you are a racist. They have to bring the race card into everything. In this book is pictures and story, and one story in this book is these two boys goes out behind the barn and they give each other oral sex. They are teaching our kids how to perform these acts. They are teaching our kids in these books boy on boy sex, girl on girl sex. And they say the parents does not have to speak out against it. I be damned. And if you go to a PTA meeting or have a one-on-one meeting with your child's teacher and say, don't teach my kids this porno, or if you publicly protest it, you can and will be labeled as a domestic terrorist and investigated as such. If you willingly take your kids and drop them off at one of their friends' house, and you know there's going to be alcohol there, you know there's going to be sex there, you know there's going to be porn there, you can be arrested for child endangerment. By dropping these kids off at these public schools, don't you think that's child endangerment? We're warping their little minds before they have a chance to even know what sex is. Well, I be damned if they think that I don't have a right, they are sadly mistaken. Because when it comes to my kids, when they was in school, I had a right and I exercised it. Now when it comes to my grandkids in school, if I know something like this is going on with my grandkids, I have a right as a grandparent. And even if the parents would agree with it, as a grandparent, I have rights and I will exercise them rights. Our American school system sucks. They don't teach kids how to run a business. They don't teach kids real life skills. Hell, they don't even teach kids how to balance a checkbook. They don't teach kids common sense. Y'all, I don't give a damn what date it was when George Washington crossed the Delaware. That will not help me get a job. It will not help me in my life. But now they're teaching our kids pure porno and immoral acts and calling it sex ed. It is far from sex ed. I could go on forever about this, how bad our school system. But in the United States, if we talk too much about it, we're domestic terrorists. I do have other things I want to talk about, so I'm going to get out of this subject right now. Okay, in this bill that's coming up, they got $25 million to study butterflies. They have $25 million to study fish in the desert. This is just some of the craziness that's in this bill, and I'll talk about some more in just a few minutes. But y'all, if they scrap everything that's in this bill that is garbage and help the American people with this $2 trillion that this bill will most likely end up, $2 trillion would give every American family a stimulus check of $7,000. Now in the comments below, I ask you, where would you rather your money be spent? Because this is your money they're spending. Do you want it to go to study butterflies? Or would you rather it go to a $7,000 stimulus check to help your family in everyday need? Also in this bill, they have $3 billion to plant trees. They have $7 billion to go to big Ivy League schools. Now let's dig into those two items a little bit. Now the $3 billion to plant trees, how much of that do you think actually will go to the labor cost of planting these trees? Not much at all. Most of it will be eaten up by the good old boy system. Research, how do you plant a tree? Paying big crazy amounts for their friends and families to do some of this research. Very little of it will go to planting trees. Now, if all $3 million went to planting trees, okay, good. We need trees, but only a small fraction of it will be for planting trees. And on the $7 billion for these Ivy League schools, why do you think they're doing this? It's because these schools need prominent people to give lectures. Well, these politicians that voted for this bill that wants this $7 billion to go to these schools, they will be the one going to these schools to give lectures at $100,000 for a 30-minute lecture. So y'all, see, it's all about padding their pockets. It's not about helping the world. It's not about helping the United States. It's not about helping the American people. It's about helping their bottom line. Now, this story, I just want to touch on it. I don't want to go into details with it because it's too gross. And if you're interested in it, I just want to let you know about it so you can look it up on YouTube. It's all over YouTube right now, but I just can't go in. Dr. Fauci, you know, the bad doctor, the one that everybody loves to hate. Well, I hate him too. And this story makes me hate him even that much more. Did you know he funds these cruel and gross experiments on animals, on dogs and monkeys and other animals? They are very cruel. I've watched a couple of videos and it's horrible what he's doing, what his money is doing to these animals. A dog is supposed to be a man's best friend, right? You don't treat your best friend this way. Y'all, if you want to see it, please go look it up. But tell me in the comments, do you think Dr. Fauci should be fired? I thought he needed to be fired before this story came to light. Now I know he needs to be fired. But y'all let me know what you think in the comments below. And let me ask you this too, and also comment on that. Dr. Fauci has always been for wearing your mask, getting the jab in the arm, social distancing. If a mask works, why get the jab in the arm? If the jab in the arm works, why wear a mask? And if the jab in the arm and the mask works, why social distance? Just something to think about. It don't make any sense to me. Maybe y'all can figure it out. Let me know in the comments below. Y'all, if you want your comments put over on We the People, please start it by saying We the People. We will take it over there for you. Please check out the We the People website and the Facebook group. Both links are in the description box below this video. Y'all keep your faith in Jesus Christ. Say a prayer for our world. Say a prayer for our country. Say a prayer for our leaders. Even though they are not leading anything right now, prayer can turn that around. Also say a prayer for everyone around the world that's hurting through COVID, financial hardship, or any other affliction. And just know, I love you all. Until next time, ciao.